Hi, I'm Sarah Kincaid, and I'm the traditional education teacher, and Todd Cassell is one of our special education teachers that I'm collaborating with this year. I teach a senior level sociology class, and I have another colleague who does as well. And when we were planning this class back in the spring, we labeled it Sociology, How to Live and Behave in Society, because what we recognized is that due to just the transition of the high school classroom and budget cuts and funding, we're having a lot of kids who may be educated with knowledge, but they leave a high school with very little skill. And when our home ec teacher, when she retired a few years ago, there was this whole wing in our school, or section in our whole school, that was never refilled. It was just a whole department that's not being addressed. And so when Kevin is his name, my other colleague, when we started talking about this, we said there's a lot of kids who are not going to go to college, which is totally fine. We're very embracing of that. But then we're having some kids who they're not college ready, but then they're not skill ready either. They can't really do anything. And so then they're limited when they don't have those opportunities to do that. So what we're doing, we have teamed up with special education. Todd does just special learning disability. Then we have Kecia Maynard on the list as well with her FMD students. And we're going to be creating a series of instructional videos of basic life skills that when I was in high school, and definitely when my parents were in high school, the majority of students would come out with those skills. Today I have a whole class of students who have almost zero life skills. And we decided, how can we address that? Because it's not just the general education student that needs that, but it's the special education student as well. And we're going to be covering different things like basic cooking, basic sewing. Cleaning is a big thing. We did a small little like food lab, and I told them to wipe off the counters. And you have students who are in the honor society and they don't know how to use a rag to wipe off a counter and make sure it's clean. We'll be doing some laundry and some car maintenance, like changing a tire, how to check your oil, things like that. And the reason we're partnering together is that we said it's not just the special education students that need that. This is everyone who needs that. And so my students will be writing a series of, we're going to try to do like 6 to 8 different videos. And it's going to be them with our assistants writing the script and creating the scenario. And we started the other day with washing and drying a load of laundry. And they first like, oh, this is going to be easy. And I was like, no, you have to do this thinking someone has never even seen a washing machine before. And they're learning different things with the technology. We're also partnering with one of our tech teachers about filming. And so many kids have such diverse interests and skill sets, but they don't always get to expand on that. So we have one kid in our class, he loves to cook. He would cook every day, and everything he does is so much better than everyone else's. He's just very mindful of everything. But then we have kids who are immediately wanting to do, I have a guy in the class who actually has his own YouTube channel, so he is ready to do all the filming and things. But it's going to be a good thing socially for our students, because they're going to be with students, special education students, who they oftentimes don't have a lot of association with during the day. And it's also teaching them, teaching both sides good social skills and social relationships. But then it's also making them think, like, how can I actually teach someone? Because they're talking, these kids are in this table, and I actually got a grant last year for my whiteboard tables, and so they're drawing all over the table. Then all of a sudden this boy said, hey, what about those washing machines that have the little drawer in it instead of the other one? And so they had to address regular washing machines as opposed to high efficiency washing machines. And they're like, that's different. You have to use different stuff. And then he's like, oh my goodness. And then one boy shouted out, he said, you can't put colored clothes and white clothes together. You got to separate out all your colors. And so it took them to what they thought would take about 10 minutes. It took them the better part of 2 days just to map out how would you actually show someone how to do this. And so they're going to be teaching and facilitating, but they're going to be working. So we're going to have students from all of our classes in the videos. We're going to make those available and upload them to our school website. And like we said, there's just so many skills. And they'll even say, I don't know how to do that. And if we're expecting, the traditional family to teach that, that's not even an issue anymore, because so many families, if they are more of a traditional family, both parents are working, and so they don't have time to teach that. Or we have kids who are all over everywhere, and they're not getting that sort of day-to-day instruction. And so it's something that's been fun, and they thought it was just going to be like, oh, this will be great. But it's been a challenge too, because they're learning, like we burnt a lot of stuff one week. they're like, oh, what's wrong with these pans? You know, they're learning all that kind of stuff. So it's been a fun experience. Like I said, it's a good social experience for my seniors, because they are now working with the FMD students. And I said, you have to have that relationship with them, because it's just really good. But like I said, Todd is my colleague with this, and so we're just going to team up together. And while we're buying, with our grants, we're buying some video equipment, and we're going to be buying things, some kitchen items and some sewing items. And the sewing items, we're going to be donating, making things that they're going to donate to the local pregnancy center here in town. And they always need baby blankets. So we're not going to do super large projects for sewing, squares basically sewn together. But that's what is our community connection with that. Any questions?